Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'll be showing you how I make guava jam. I'm starting here with 1 pound of ripe guava, and that's about 10 guava. I'm just cutting off both ends and then I'm going to slice them into smaller pieces before I put them on to boil. I have always loved guava jam. I have so many good memories making guava jam with my mom and sister. Oh man, those were the days. We used to make guava jam a lot, and there's nothing like when you're finished and you make tortilla and you put some guava jam and butter on a hot tortilla. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to cover this with water and I'm going to put it on to boil, and I'm boiling it for 30 minutes. I have the recipe in the description box for you, so don't forget to check that out. Now I'm using my potato masher to mash the guava, and this just helps speed up the process for when I have to put it through the strainer. So the hardest part about making this jam is trying to get the pulp out. It will give your arm a little workout, I'm telling you, but it's worth it in the end. So you just gotta do this like a million times and you're good to go. By the way, discard the seeds, you don't need that, just the pulp and the juice. After I washed and dried my pot, I'm going to add back the pulp to it. Then I'm going to add some white sugar and some lime juice. And this is 100% lime juice. This is not the juice from concentrate. You can use a fresh lime if you want to. Now I'm going to stir this until the sugar dissolves, and by the way, I'm cooking this over medium heat, and I'm cooking this for 30 minutes. You don't have to stir this a whole lot in the beginning, but towards the end when it starts to get thick, you have to keep stirring because you don't want it to stick or burn. I don't know about you guys, but all the memories I have of making jam is that it was an all-day event thing. It was like making tamales because it felt like you were in that kitchen stirring and stirring and stirring that pot and it would never end. I don't know if it's just a Belizean thing or what, but it felt like it took forever. I think though it's because people used the juice and they didn't use the pulp, so you would have to cook it longer, and I feel like this way it's much easier and it has so much more flavor. While the jam was cooking, I had my bottle sitting in some hot water, and the reason I do that is when I put the hot jam in it, it won't break. After I took the bottles out, I put the lids in the hot water and left them in there until I was ready for it. As you can see here, it's getting thick, and that's where you want to test it to see if it's ready. Before I started, I put my plate in the freezer, so when I put the jam on it, it helps it to cool down faster. And what you want to do is just take your finger and run it right through the jam. And if it leaves a streak, you know it's ready. But if it runs together, that means you have to cook it some more. When you fill the jam in the jars, don't fill it all the way up, leave a little space, because when you process it, the food needs that space to expand. When you put on the seal and close the jars, you don't want to close it too tight, just fingertip tight. Now I'm going to put them back in the hot water to process, and I'm going to let them boil for 20 minutes. The way to tell that your jars have sealed properly after you take them out of the water is when you hear the lids pop. Sometimes it will happen right away and sometimes it won't, so you'll just have to listen for it. After you hear that, then you can go ahead and seal it really tight. I let this cool down completely overnight. This is what it looks like the next day. Just wanted you to see what the texture looks like. I wish I had a piece of tortilla to put this on, but unfortunately I don't have any tortilla at the moment and I don't want to go need some flour, so I'm just putting it on a piece of bread, but it's still good on bread. I have another recipe coming out and it's an easier way to make guava jam, so keep an eye out for that. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you give this recipe a try, and if you have not subscribed, please don't forget to do that, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Take care. Bye.